I mean, I don't know which mask to use, so let's just go for some blood duck. Okay, after the events of Friday the 13th, Part 7 with the new bud and the Carrie and Jason's left at the bottom of the river again, you know, the lake, sorry, after a dad comes out and drags Jason to, yeah, it's a bit weird. So, Jason takes Manhattan. Obviously at first the idea of Jason slashing through the New York poster got a bit of backlash and was banned. It's alright for the Gremlins to do with the new batch, but not for having a good old Jason popping through. It's just, no, it's not very good. Won't allow that. So Kane Hodder returns, and I am holding off putting Kane Hodder. It's really weird actually, because as I've been watching Friday, this is just pause in the background, I've been working on some of my love for horror stuff, and Kane Hodder has been meeting me on one screen, and Kane Hodder's been killing people on the other screen. Now, it's a small world, because two things here. This is probably the first Friday the 13th I ever saw. I was staying at my friend Craig's in school, and he just talked about Jason. I had no idea who Jason was. Maybe he's 11, 12ish. You know, we're talking VHS times. Anyway, this was the one on television, and I vaguely remember it. I definitely remember the guy getting his head punched off from the building. But so that was probably one of my early experiences of Jason. Now, I used to live next door to Kelly who actually is in this movie. So when I lived in Bulgaria, my next door neighbour was Kelly, and she's a lovely woman. Did talk about it. I haven't got any memories of Friday the 13th. She doesn't appear on the Crystal Lake Memories documentary, but having her as a neighbour was pretty cool. She stars in the tournament. She plays Lala, and I think delivered a great performance. She's great. It's got very good self-awareness of martial arts, but in this is one of the early films, if not one of her first. And she didn't do much. She's the sort of mischievous sidekick to one of the bitchy girls in it, and she encounters Jason on the dance floor, which is pretty weird because it's like the Hitchcock thing with the birds. She's walking around just spinning, and Jason's there, and then Jason's here, then Jason's not there, then peekaboo, Jason's here, and it's sort of weird because it's how it's edited. It's weird. So yeah, you know, small world. We're going back to the film. It starts off on the lake in a boat and don't have sex, and we find Jason at the bottom of the ocean, and borrows a little bit from Jaws 2. It's like, ooh, there's a power line. Jason gets a jolt of electricity and instantly kills, and some of the deaths you don't really see on screen, and the first two victims are just like dead. just don't do anything. The guy's like dead. So yeah, this film gets a lot of shit because obviously it's meant to be in Manhattan. It's all shot in Vancouver, except for a couple of scenes at Times Square later on in the movie. But for the better part, it starts off and it's all set around a boat. So it's basically Under Siege before Under Siege. So it's Jason Under Siege. So Jason's on the boat, and pretty big boat. And there's people with cameras, people with guitars. It's all meant to be a groupie thing. And one by one, they start getting killed off, and a lot of them happen off death, reveal later on. I like the one I've just seen there, one with a pipe in the face. I enjoyed that. His head smashes off the face, but it's got a lot of messages there, like obviously the drug addicts near the end with the trial getting far ahead. Let's talk about the boat. So there's a lot of things on the boat. The kid's captain sets up the captain's going to get killed. Again, a lot of the deaths. Again, the flashbacks of Jason as a kid. He now looks like a normal kid, especially when he drowns in the lake. And then they introduce the ice. So there's some pretty cool stuff about Jason in portals, like not portals, but looking through the portholes and appearing and reappearing again. Just like, is this meant to be Kerry? Is this meant to be? We've had this before. We've had this girl who's got some torment about the lake. It's pretty cool when the fire and the lake merge later on, just before the end. But you know, everyone sort of gets knocked off, killed off, chucked aboard. They all get off board, float towards Manhattan, and how the fuck does Jason suddenly just appear in Manhattan? What is he, Olympic fucking swimmer? Yes, he is sort of Aquaman, the horror version. But there's a lot of plot holes. One of the iconic things and one of the best things is Get Up, when he gets in New York and just stares at the hockey mask on the wall, which is pretty cool. And then like they get mugged straight away, the people. So it's like it's a really good picture for New York. It's like Yes, we're saved. No one's here to save us at the port. Give us your money. But yeah, it's fucking cheesy as fuck when the music starts at the start. It's got some really weird font. It's got white with red shadowing, which I don't like. Really cheesy music. Shows you New York, and then you get a boat. I mean, it's an hour and 40 minutes. It's a long film. And at the end, it doesn't give you the red herring, then the red herring, then what the fuck ending. Like, it's got a lot of slow motion, especially the bit where she runs him over. And then she sees it, just like this melted Jason. It just slows down. It's weird. Obviously, one of the internal jokes or thing is Kurt Singer, who would be play Jason later on in the series, actually doubles for Kane Hodder and gets chucked into a glass mirror in this. But yeah, I think Kane was great in it. I think they used him quite well. Got the mask back on. Just wet all the time. I mean, when I went to the Love of Horror, he was modelling as the Manhattan Jason, just wet and slimy. And some good shots of him and stuff like that, but it does run a bit of a muck near the end. It finally gets to New York with some really good shots. And then he gets melted. Just heard a bang. Obviously, my neighbours. Anyway, it just gets melted. It gets melted into a child, and you think, what the fuck? And the red herring at the end, the dog's still alive, so. Yeah, so that is it for the box set. Apart from that, yeah, as I say, I would say it's better than the last one, for all it is. But again, you can kind of see why. I mean, this is the last one for Paramount. This is the one where they went, right, this might be the big one. This is meant to be the one for Manhattan. This is just went. Should have just called it Jason on a Ship. You know, Friday the 13th, the float. So yeah, this is the last of the box set. The box set is discontinued. I am going to be watching the following ones on DVD. I'll try and watch Final Nightmare on the next couple of nights. Keep on the going. And when we get around to Jason X, because of the Jason X, I'll bring Kane Hodder into it. So yeah, I'll see you in the outtakes. So the next one's going to be Jason Goes to Hell. Evil has finally found a home. The VHS cover was bitching for this. The fucking silver mask with a weird fucking tremor tentacle coming out of it, you know. So this is pattern there. Yes, this is one a new line. There's never been a better time to upgrade a DVD. You've just bought the DVD, so why would you fucking bother putting that advert in there? Shouldn't that not be in a VHS? Commando, the Full Monty. Wow. Commando, the Full Monty. Okay, someone have a little joke there. So inside, this is the reason why I'd upgrade to DVD. The Big Blue, Blair Witch, Volcano, Conan, When Saturday Comes, Chain Reaction, Crying Freedom and Cocoon, Boiling Point, National Lampoon's Loaded Weapon 1, The Commitment, Poseidon Adventure, Bound, Pushing Tim, Serial Mom, They're Still Up Next Door, Serial Mom, Showgirls, That Thing You Do, Far Away From Home, The Wind in the Willows, Barracks, Anastasia and Rusty. So they are the reasons to update to so even Pat Nair not even advertising to buy Friday the 13th. So yeah. So we'll be back for the final Friday, which is not the final Friday, but you know, better take that over there because I'll need to watch that. Right, thanks for watching this series. It will continue. See you next time.
And now the end is here.